He told the detective about the heinous act he had committed, expecting shock or outrage in response.
I hit her in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
But the detective remained calm and conversational, simply asking,
Did you go out anywhere in Crestview? Did you do anything?
This tactic wasn't just about making the suspect comfortable, but it aligned with the minimization technique in psychology, which suggests that by downplaying the seriousness of the situation through tone, a suspect feels less threatened and becomes more willing to speak openly. And on that day, that sense of safety led to a confession that cost the suspect dearly.
How'd you grab her whenever you took her to the ground?
I grabbed her from behind her rear neck and choke.
But the pertinent questions are: who is this man? What happened on April the 10th, 2016, and how detectives psychologically trap him with a perfect bait. Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. They say the weakest people often commit the cruelest acts, and in this case, that couldn't be more true. She asked him, lovingly and with hope, for the wedding of her dreams. But instead of being honest, instead of trusting her with the truth that he couldn't afford it, he chose a path no man should ever take. Rather than admit his failure, he committed an unthinkable betrayal, one that echoes with the weight of cowardice since the dawn of humanity.
A Milton man is charged with killing his girlfriend because he didn't have the money to pay for their wedding.
It was the hot morning of August 7th, 2020, in Milton, Florida. 61-year-old Jerry Odom committed a despicable act. His girlfriend, 50-year-old Vicky Edge, had just recovered from COVID and recently received a diagnosis of stage 2 colon cancer. Despite dating for only a few months after meeting through a Facebook dating app, they were planning a lavish wedding, something Odom had no financial means to support. That morning, as Vicky prepared to leave for work, Odom lured her with the promise of a surprise. She playfully covered her eyes, trusting him with all her heart, and he struck her repeatedly with a metal baseball bat he had bought the week before. When she cried out, he strangled her. After the murder, he cleaned his clothes, walked the dog, and left the body at home, pretending life was normal. Upon suspicion, the cops arrested Odom and brought him in for the interrogation, and today we will focus on the psychological elements of this interrogation.
The deputy, my understanding, read you your Miranda rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, he did.
Do you know and understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
With those rights being in mind, do you wish to speak with me?
Yes, I'd be willing to talk.
He emphasizes Jerry's right to remain silent, but asks if he's willing to talk. This frames confession as a choice, not an obligation. By giving Jerry control, it avoided triggering resistance. It subtly placed Jerry in the role of someone trying to explain or justify, not a criminal under siege.
She said, why are you doing this? And I guess it was all precipitated with all this. I didn't have the money to pay for it. I just had no way to get out of it. I didn't know what else to do, So she started to scream, and I put a chokehold on her until she went to the ground.
Okay.
And I choked her after that.
Okay. So you guys, y'all been dating since
about 3 months.
Since May. For 3-4 months, somewhere in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to get married, get a house.
Yes.
Just what married couples do. You knew that you couldn't afford that.
I knew basically I couldn't afford it. I was just kind of going along with the ride. I thought maybe it would end beforehand, but I kept getting deeper and deeper into the relationship, and I didn't know how to get out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
You know about what time that was yesterday? That went
about 10:30 in the morning.
Okay. I'm going to take a few notes because I forget what we talked about. Now you said she was getting ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Where was she going?
To work. She owns a hair and nail salon, I think, or something like that, or where she does facials. No, facials and massages.
Okay, I got you.
In Destin.
Okay. So this happened Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Okay.
Yesterday morning.
Had you thought about this before?
I guess I did. I thought maybe this might be an end result, because
Right.
I mean, I went down and I bought the baseball bat, so from Walmart
Okay.
sometime back. I just, like I say, I was just getting deeper and deeper in a hole, and I didn't know how to get out of it.
Right.
Then one thing led to another.
Okay.
Which
Which Walmart did you go to buy the bat?
the one at Milton.
Okay. You remember when you bought that bat?
I don't know, maybe a week before.
Okay. So last week sometime.
Yeah.
I got you.
He goes back to the bat purchase. When did you buy it? Why did you buy it? This anchors the crime in premeditation rather than impulse. It helps the detective frame the act as a thought-out decision. Making it harder for Jerry to argue this was a heat-of-the-moment mistake.
Had you been thinking about doing this since then, since last week or before that?
It kind of crossed my mind, I guess. Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me about yesterday morning whenever you woke up, whenever you and her.
Well, we woke up, she was getting ready, and I didn't know what I was going to do, basically. I had, she'd been making plans to, for a wedding and all that, to have a wedding planner, and I gave her a check for $15,000, of course, which I didn't have to cover. And, and I guess that's what led into this too. I didn't know what else to do.
He strategically allows silence after Jerry's statements instead of jumping to fill the space. Silence creates psychological discomfort that many suspects try to resolve by continuing to talk. And with every word, Jerry reveals more.
I've probably got about $2,000 in the bank.
Right. Okay. When did you give her the check? Was that yesterday?
I gave it to her Wednesday.
Okay. How long had she been staying at your house? How many days?
Well, she contracted COVID back at the first of maybe before the end of June. We went out on my birthday on June 23rd, and we were around a bunch of people in Destin that didn't have any masks.
Right.
And we went on a boat, and then within about 3 or 4 days, she was sick, and she stayed with me for about 2.5 weeks after that.
Okay, so she'd been staying at your house for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she, fortunately, I didn't get it. I took a test and I tested negative.
Okay. So y'all woke up that morning and you were thinking about this.
I guess I was thinking about it, how I was going to get out of this, what was I going to do.
Right.
Yeah. And, because I'd already given her the check. So I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Which was, of course, the wrong thing to think of. I've never done anything like this in my life.
Yes, sir. Now, whenever you bought the bat from Walmart, was that your intention on using that bat against her?
He walks Jerry step by step through his day, from breakfast to the murder. Repeatedly, it increases cognitive load. The more Jerry talks, the harder it becomes to maintain lies. Gaps, contradictions, and hesitation start to surface.
I don't know at the time. I was thinking maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know.
Sure. I got you. Okay, so
I had guns in the house, but I didn't want to go that route.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess the noise of the neighborhood and
Sure.
and the mess. I don't know. I didn't want you know, it's like after it was all over, I felt bad about it, and I covered her up about what I'd done.
Sure. You're a human being.
Yeah.
Human beings have feelings.
Yeah. I never thought at 61 I'd be here today like this.
Yes, sir.
He never labels Jerry as evil or dangerous. Instead, he lets Jerry describe his actions while inserting occasional humanizing comments like, "You're a human being, humans have feelings." This reassures the suspect that confession doesn't equal total condemnation. It gives him a psychological off-ramp to explain, not deny.
So y'all get up that morning.
Kind of eat breakfast.
Okay.
She cooks breakfast. And she gets ready to go.
Okay.
And she starts loading stuff in her car.
Okay.
And then that's when everything occurred. And after it happened, I just took the dog around. I rode him around for a while. And then I came back and I left him. And then I went and got a motel in Crestview.
Okay.
Just stayed there last night.
You remember what name of the motel
It
was?
was not Marriott, but that one that's right behind the Mexican restaurant off to the right. It's I can't recall the name of it.
Okay. But it's behind a Mexican restaurant, you said?
Yeah.
Is it by the interstate?
As soon as you get off the interstate, you make a left. I just couldn't bring myself to stay there with a body.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I knew I was going to have to say something to somebody.
Sure.
But of course, when her brother came by the door, you know, then I called the police. He'd already called y'all.
Yes, sir.
And that led to this. And,
Okay.
you know, I was just trying to make my mind up when I was going to call.
Okay. I understand completely.
Rather than challenge Jerry's morality, he allows Jerry to express remorse and gently agrees. "You're a human being." That line isn't sympathy, it's strategy. It regulates guilt. Too much guilt leads to withdrawal or silence. This tactic titrates guilt just enough for Jerry to keep talking, but not shut down.
Y'all got up, ate breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
She was going about her daily routine, getting her stuff loaded up in her
Put her
truck.
back up,
Okay.
getting dressed, getting ready to go.
Okay. Then walk me through from that point in detail as much as you can.
Well, from that point, you know, and she was getting ready to go, and then I told her I had her another surprise, and she put the cover over her head, and I hit her in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
Okay, so she put a cover over her head.
Yeah, and so she came up. She was like, "Why are you doing this?" And I struck her a few more times, and then she began to scream. And after that, I started choking her till we went to the ground, and I finished choking her.
Okay. How many times you think you hit her with the bat?
Several, 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times. Okay. But she was still alive after those strikes with the bat.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
How'd you grab her whenever you choked her to the ground?
I grabbed her from behind the rear naked choke. I trained martial arts. I knew what to do.
Yes, sir.
And then when she was on the ground, then I used my hands, and then after that, I used the bat to choke her.
Okay. So you first start out with your hands.
And then,
Show me
my
how you
hands.
did. Okay.
Then I used the bat.
Okay. So was she laying?
She was laying flat on the floor, prone on the floor.
Was she laying face up or face down?
Face up.
Face up. Okay.
Instead of challenging Jerry's gruesome confession, the detective responds with open-ended, non-judgmental questions. By staying neutral, the detective removes any perceived threat. This encourages Jerry to keep talking because he doesn't feel judged or interrupted.
Was she saying anything at that point at all to you? Or?
Okay. Just kind of gurgling.
Okay. Where's that bat at now?
It's at the house. Could I have some water, officer?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Sorry, you have some water if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, it's as they go in the house, there's a bag of my martial arts weapons on there. I didn't use anything like that, but it's behind the door where I had a .22 rifle, and the bat's right next to it.
Just behind the door?
Behind the door.
Okay. Is that the front door?
Well, as soon as you go into the house, you would make a left from the living room, and it would be the back bedroom, all the way to the left.
I got you.
And it would be behind the door. It was a metal bat.
Okay.
Kind of like a kid's bat.
Okay. Okay, now after that event happened, then what did you do?
He gently re-asked the same questions multiple times. This repetition isn't about memory. It's about stress testing the story. Inconsistencies signal deception, but Jerry's story is horrifyingly consistent, further incriminating him.
After that, I had some blood on me, and I washed it off, and I threw it in the washing machine in the dryer. And then, I threw it in the washing machine first, and I took the dog out for a ride.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do then.
Yes, sir.
And when I came back, I threw him in the dryer, and I left the dog there, and then that's when I went to Crestview.
Okay.
In the afternoon.
Okay. You remember what time you left to go to the hotel?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay. You know where those clothes are now that you washed and put in the dryer?
They're in the dryer.
They're in the dryer now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were they?
It was a pair of shorts and I don't remember what shirt. I don't know. I kind of blanked out. But, I had my red shoes on, and I noticed they had blood stains on them, so I set them up on top of the living room table.
Okay. Are they still there?
They're still there.
Shoes? Okay. You remember what color shorts you had on or shirt?
They were kind of grayish with all the black stripes.
Okay. What about your shirt? You remember what color it
I don't
was?
remember what it was.
But that shirt should still be in a dryer?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so you drove to Crestview, stayed in the hotel. Did you go out anywhere in Crestview? Did you do anything?
Even as Jerry describes murder, the detective stays conversational. It disguises the gravity of the situation. Jerry feels less like he's being interrogated and more like he's just explaining himself. That relaxed tone leads to a more complete confession.
I went to the Mexican restaurant down the hill. Well, Bombas, I think that's what it's called, or something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I think so. I'm not real familiar with Crestview.
I went there and I ate.
Okay.
I came and I watched TV and I went to sleep.
Okay.
And when I got up in the morning, I showered and I came back to check on her. I don't know. I just like.
He doesn't react when Jerry casually mentions going out to eat or watching TV after the murder. He treats it as normal. This silence is strategic. It pushes Jerry to fill an emotional context, like guilt, shame, or detachment, without prompting. Jerry's lack of remorse stands out in contrast to the detective's calm demeanor.
I felt so bad about what happened and what I did.
Yes, sir.
And I took the dog out, and I just went around visiting neighborhood friends all day.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else to do. I kept saying to myself, by noon, I'm going to call y'all, and by 5, and it just got later and later. And then her brother came and knocked at the door, and I never met him, but
Yes, sir.
I knew about him because she told me about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to go to the door. I didn't know if the guy had a gun.
Sure.
I had one too, but I didn't want to shoot the guy.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to get in the shootout with a brother, I understand.
No, I didn't. I'm already in enough of a mess. So.
Sure.
And he was banging on the house and all the doors and all that. So that's when I dialed 911.
Okay.
I guess he looked up where I lived on Facebook or something. I don't know. Or maybe she had told him before.
Right. Okay.
One of my brothers was a criminal lawyer, and he'd be telling me now not to say a thing to you. But he passed away 2 years ago. But, I feel in the long run it's best to get things off your chest.
Yes, sir. I feel the same way.
Like I said, I never thought at 61 I'd be sitting here. And it'd be the end of the road of my life, but here I am.
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect it when the relationship started, and it was just like a snowball going downhill.
Right. Okay. Did you guys have any, obviously the financial problem, but y'all have any kind of other problems with each other? With you ever?
It seemed to get along pretty good. She just kept pushing this marriage thing, and I kept going along with it.
When Jerry expresses sadness, I didn't expect to be here at 61. The detective responds gently, validating his feelings without excusing the act. It makes Jerry feel heard, not hunted. That emotional safety is critical for continuing the confession without hesitation.
I don't know. I was in love with her, but, I didn't want to say no. And then, then one time she wanted me to go down and look at a ring, and I thought, well, maybe I'm like $1,000 or $2,000 ring. And she picks out this $14,000 ring. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't have the money to get it.
That's an expensive ring.
Yeah, it was an expensive ring. And then she wanted to get a house on the lake for $265,000 and get it fixed and pay for a wedding planner and
That's
get new cars.
A lot of money.
I did have a lot of money at one time. I was a millionaire at one time, but I lost it. I made some bad real estate deals. I owned a repair shop, and I owned a Chevron, and they went bankrupt. So.
Oh my goodness.
So I've had everything and then lost it all. So.
He occasionally reflects Jerry's words back to him. This mirroring makes Jerry feel validated, subtly reinforcing his narrative and deepening the trust, while further locking him into the story he's created.
Do you have any idea of I know you told me that you don't want to go through the wedding and thing, but do you have any idea of how you came to that decision of to do that?
Well,
sorry guys, I had to go ransack the whole building to get something.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Well, she started talking about it, and I started agreeing to it. And then she said we could use one of her friends' backyards that she had a house on Mary Esther, which was a nice house, like $1 million house. And she said, well, she started calling up people. It'd be like $50 a head, and for 50 people supposedly, and then an open liquor bar and all this. And so she said probably $15,000 would cover it. I wrote her a check, like I said, I didn't have.
Gotcha.
I tore it up. Like I said, I threw it in the garbage. the commode, not flushing in the commode.
A tick?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He lets Jerry explain the reasons behind the murder. Money troubles, love, pressure. At no point does the detective challenge this logic. This tactic avoids resistance. Jerry believes he's being understood, not judged, and continues to confess as if he's offering a tragic explanation, not a defense.
I don't want to keep beating you up with this, but I just want to get as many details as I can.
Okay.
So I may repeat myself 3 or 4 times because I don't really remember sometimes what I talked to you about.
Okay.
I'm getting a little up in age myself. So you said you hit her 4 or 5 times.
Probably.
Okay. Now, which way was she facing whenever you hit her?
Well, she was facing sometimes toward me and then to the back of me. I guess she was kind of moving around, trying to get her head out of the way, I guess.
Okay.
And then she started screaming, and I knew that there were neighbors out there, and I didn't want them to hear her screaming. And then that's when I started to choke her.
Okay. But was she still standing up when you started to choke her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you guys fell to the floor.
Fell to the floor.
And then she was laying on her back, facing upward.
Facing
Okay.
upward.
Then you choked her on
with my hands.
Okay. Then
I used the bat.
Okay. Did after that happened, did you clean anything up at the house, or was it like it was?
No, I didn't clean anything up.
You didn't mop or wipe anything down?
I just wiped myself off, and that was it. And
Okay.
I covered her up.
Okay.
I didn't clean up anything.
I got you. What'd you wipe yourself off with?
A rag, a brown rag.
Is that rag still in the house?
It's in the house.
You know about where the house was? Is this in the dryer? Is there anything else in the dryer other than those?
Well, there were some other clothes in there.
He reinforces Jerry's sense of doing the right thing by confessing. He assures him that good people make bad decisions, and he's not being judged. This tactic gives Jerry psychological permission to continue talking. It softens the shame and frames the confession as a form of redemption, not just incrimination.
You know where her keys are?
They're up on the counter by the sink, or they may be in my truck.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just didn't want anybody to come by and see it. And like I said, I just wasn't ready to tell I knew I was going to have to tell what had happened, but I just didn't want to do it right then.
Just wasn't ready to do it. Okay.
No.
I got you. That makes sense.
I didn't want to, that's why I left. I didn't want to, I felt so bad about it. I didn't want to stay there with the body. I mean, I just.
When did you take her license plate off? Was that when you took the dog out, or?
It was sometime afterwards that it happened.
Okay.
I don't know exactly when. Sometime after it happened.
Did you tell any of your neighbors or anything about this incident?
No, I just went on like everything was normal.
Did you tell anybody in Crestview about it at all?
No, they knew she was staying there. I just told them she was sick. And they knew that she had COVID and she wasn't feeling well. So they asked me why she wasn't out and about and all that. I just said she was sick. So.
Okay. Now, when you left, you covered her up. You left. Did you know she was deceased at that point? After you covered her up and left?
Yes.
Okay.
I tried to see if I could feel a pulse. I didn't feel one.
Okay.
He asks about small, post-crime details like eating pizza with neighbors, the location of Vicky's smash phone, and laundry routines. By highlighting how Jerry lived normally after the murder, the detective helps the suspect hear his own coldness out loud, without accusation. This creates subtle discomfort, encouraging deeper reflection and admissions.
Like I say, we met online on the Facebook dating app. That's how we met.
Okay.
And we started talking, and I told her to look me up on Facebook, and she did. And so we started talking on the phone, and then we made plans to go out on a date. We've been dating since I think the middle of May.
Okay.
Up till this time now. So I mean, I guess as you get older, you think about getting married quicker. I don't know.
Do you know when the last day she went to work was?
Last day she went to work. Tuesday was Thursday, Wednesday. She had to. Monday she had to have another negative COVID test. I had to take her down for that.
Okay.
And Tuesday she had to have a colonoscopy. And so Wednesday she wasn't feeling good, so she kind of slept. So I guess when did I see her? I think last Saturday. Last Saturday.
When you were taking her to her appointments, was you thinking about doing that then?
No.
The Monday and the Tuesday going to the doctor's office or anything like that?
No, not really. I just was worried about her. I mean, I was thinking about what if I just told her, like, hey, I'm broke and all that, you know. But I was knee deep into telling her I had going to spend $500,000. I didn't know what else to do.
Right.
And that would have been it. I guess she would have said that's it, you know. I mean, I don't know if she was looking at me for what I had or I didn't have. I don't know. I don't know. It just, you know, it almost got to a point where, you know, I kept saying if I had money, you know, she was happier. If I had this, I had, you know, and I did do a lot of things for her. You know, I took her out to dinner a lot and flowers. Like Sunday, we went out to Jocko's and with my friend Hugh, and we had food and drinks. It was $113, you know, plus a tip.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I did do a lot of good things for her.
Yeah. Good people make bad decisions too, Jerry. It's not only bad people that make bad decisions.
He emphasizes Jerry's age, his regrets, his identity as a nice guy in the neighborhood, anchoring him in a reality Jerry still wants to believe in. By acknowledging Jerry's humanity, the detective reduces resistance. Jerry wants to hold on to that image, so he keeps talking to explain how he ended up here.
Good people do it too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else I need to ask you. You think of anything that I'm missing that I haven't asked you about, or you wanted to tell me? Something that might be important for us to know?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you want to know about these events. I mean, I was going to wait and talk to a lawyer, but it doesn't matter now. I'm 61 years old. I mean, you know, I might as well just tell the truth, you know.
Yes, sir. Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah, it was up there on the counter.
It's on the counter?
It was with my wallet and stuff.
Okay.
The officer that arrested me, they took it.
Okay. Oh, the officer took your phone too?
Yeah, they got my phone and my
Okay.
wallet.
Is that phone locked? Does it have a code to it? What about hers? Do you know where her phone is?
Well, I smashed it
Okay.
and put it in some water because it started smoking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where was that at? Was that at home?
It's in the driveway. There's my landlord's Mercedes. There's a red bucket in front of it, and it's in some water there.
Just in your driveway?
Yes. Well, it's inside in the driveway. And not the driveway, where he's got his Mercedes parked, and it's in front of the Mercedes. It's a red bucket.
Okay. Why did you do that?
I guess I didn't want her friends calling. I didn't know. I didn't want to answer. I didn't know what to say to them.
Yes, sir.
What was I going to say? Look what I just did.
When Jerry says things like, "I just didn't know how to tell her I was broke," the detective doesn't argue. He lets the rationalizations pass, but revisits them later subtly to show premeditation. This allows Jerry to feel heard while building a confession layered with contradictions and justification. It gently exposes motive without direct challenge.
Do you have any other electronic devices in there? Is there something that you looked up on any of your devices, like
how to do this stuff? Nothing like that.
That's where I was getting at.
I've got a laptop that's an old one. I've never got it. I got it from my ex-wife. I never had it cleaned out. It's not even functional.
Okay. Have you ever talked on, I don't know how big of a social media guy you are. Have you ever talked on social media about
this sort of thing? No.
Yes, sir.
No, I kept it all to myself. Like I say, I didn't say anything to neighbors because I didn't know what to say to them.
Yes, sir.
I just got back from my neighbor's house over there, and his dad had brought back a pizza. I said, I ate pizza with him. But, it's like, I wanted to tell him, but I couldn't. Like I say, I knew I was going to tell somebody. I didn't want it to be there and all this to happen the way it did. But
yes, sir.
Million things running through your mind, huh?
Yeah. I just, I didn't. My neighbors all know me as a nice guy. They don't know me as this person now. Tomorrow morning they're going to wake up and they're going to say they don't know this guy, because it's not me.
He gently highlights that Jerry didn't tell anyone, not neighbors, not friends, creating a psychological echo chamber. This tactic isolates the suspect. Without an external voice validating his actions, Jerry is left alone with guilt. That silence becomes unbearable and is broken by confession.
But, like I say, I had money and I didn't, and, next thing you're broke. And
yes, sir.
I didn't know where it was going to lead me. The only other thing I own is that truck.
The one that's in the driveway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you have any kids or any other family?
I have a brother in Birmingham as a dentist.
Okay. So, you got any questions?
You might have asked it when I was out. I know you said you went to Walmart last week. Can you think what day you think you might have went up there? Doesn't have to be exact time or anything like that, but just kind of a general, is it middle of the week?
I don't know, maybe in the last week, middle of the week, something like that. It was over
About what time?
Baseball. It was probably in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Did you see anybody over there that you knew in Walmart? You talked to anybody?
No, I didn't see anybody I know.
Okay. You remember which registry you went to?
It It was one of those that they have that are a checkout. I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, somewhere around there.
Was it one of those self-checkout things?
No, it was a self-checkout.
You went to a person?
Yeah, a person
Okay.
that checked me out.
He asks Jerry about mundane things. Register number at Walmart, what time he left, whether he saw anyone. These seem harmless, but serve a deeper function. These low-stress questions re-engage memory and create timeline accountability. They force Jerry to relive the crime in granular detail, locking him into one consistent version.
Anything else you can think of you want to tell me about?
I wish I could go back.
Yes, sir. I understand completely. I understand completely.
But you can't undo it.
Well, you're doing the right thing.
I'm sorry for the family.
Anything else?
No, sure.
Miss Jerry, obviously you probably know we got a lot of work to do, so we're going to get out here and get to work.
Okay.
They have my numbers in here. If you get back there and if there's something else you want to talk to me about, you just tell them you want to talk to that detective again, and I will be.
Tell me the first name again.
Jason Yoder. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm the only one here, so they'll know who you're talking about. A good-looking, bald-headed guy. They'll know who you're talking about. Well, Mr. Jerry, I appreciate you coming in and talking with me and being as honest with me as you can. I really appreciate that.
I can think of anything else. I'll let you know.
Yes, I'd appreciate it. Okay. Mr. Jerry,
Thanks, sir.
best of luck to you, sir.
As the interrogation wraps, the detective reminds Jerry that he's appreciated and that he can still reach out if he remembers anything. It reinforces Jerry's narrative that confessing is the only honorable choice left. It also leaves the door open emotionally, making Jerry feel supported, even in punishment. In Jerry Odom's interrogation, the detective skillfully uses empathy, repetition, and non-judgmental questioning to extract a full confession. Jerry details the planning, method, and aftermath of the murder, including buying the bat, staging the surprise, and attempting to cover it up. The detective never pressures him. Instead, he lets Jerry talk himself deeper into the truth. By confirming premeditation, timeline, weapon placement, and intent, the detective builds a self-incriminating narrative straight from the suspect's mouth. This detailed, voluntary confession, backed by physical evidence, leaves no room for doubt and ultimately ensures a conviction for first-degree premeditated murder.
New details tonight about what the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office is calling a cold-blooded murder. A Milton man is charged with killing his girlfriend because he didn't have the money to pay for their wedding. We've now obtained surveillance video of the suspect buying the bat used in her death and interviews with neighbors who say they spent the day with him after she died. A picture of Vicky Edge and Jerry Odom's first date together. This birthday card from Edge saying, quote, "I'm thankful God put us together, looking forward to many more." Now these are crime scene photos Channel 3 News obtained after deputies say Odom beat and choked Edge to death with a baseball bat in August. Edge's brother telling investigators when Edge didn't show up to the spa she owned in Destin, he went to check on her.
I could hear Buddy inside barking, going crazy, and I was calling, and I called for Vicky and Jerry, no answer. I went around each window, banging on it.
When deputies got to the home, they found Edge's body in the living room. Odom told them she'd been there for 2 days. In an interview with Odom's neighbors, they tell investigators Odom walked Edge's dog and came over earlier that day, acting as if nothing had happened.
And he kept asking you what time it was. Different times he said, "What time is this? What time is it?" And he would go and check on Vicky. And come back and say she's still sleeping.
Other crime scene photos show the baseball bat deputies say was used to kill Edge, plus the guns Odom owned and told investigators he could have used. Now, these are just a few of the pictures taken. Many others are just too graphic to share. And take a look at this surveillance video we also obtained. You can see Odom buying a bat at Walmart. This was recorded just about a week before the crime. In his arrest report, Odom tells investigators he promised Edge a $15,000 wedding, but he was broke. He goes on to say he had no other way out than to kill her. The neighbors who became close friends with Odom say the couple seem excited to get married.
Hugh said they invited him to the wedding. They had planned the wedding for October 24th, and Mom and Dad, meaning us, were invited to the wedding.
Edge's brother was also interviewed by deputies and told them he saw the red flags, but it was too late.
They even started talking about buying a house and wedding down, and it could be like, I thought it was going to be first of the year, but they're talking about maybe moving up to October or so, and I was like, whoa, slow down, and I had to remind her that it takes a year to get to know somebody, true color come out.
Odom is being held at the Santa Rosa County Jail without bond.
Jerry Odom was sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to first-degree premeditated murder for the August 7th, 2020 killing of his girlfriend, Vicky Edge, in Milton, Florida. The court immediately imposed a life term upon his plea, following testimony that Odom had beaten her with a baseball bat, strangled her, and taken deliberate steps to conceal evidence, including hiding the weapon, laundering blood-stained clothes, and tampering with her vehicle's license plate. His confession and detailed admission of planning and intent eliminated the need for a trial and secured his conviction.